Hello everyone. Welcome to Eyezone Education's webinar series. Thank you for joining us. Today's topic is identifying customer needs through relationship building, to be presented by author, business administrator, and life coach, who is none other than Mushtaq Ahmed. Our presenter for today is an esteemed columnist and author. He is an eloquent speaker, a notable business administrator, life coach, and whatnot. He has lived for 25 years in the GCC and has helped people see better and live better. He ascended through the career ladder and reached the senior management level to help Johnson & Johnson Vision Care become a leading contact lens company in the GCC. He hails from Chennai, India, where he trained around 1,500 students and got them placements. Through his mantra, "It's economy, stupid," which he firmly believes in, he has helped people set up quite a few businesses by honing their entrepreneurial skills. He has written 4 books as well. Prominent among them are Optimism at 100% Discount and Optical Sales Made Easy. His new book, Skill Chill, A Guide to Children Acquiring Leadership Skills, is slated to be published soon on Amazon. In this 40-minute session, Mushtaq will cover several relevant topics such as the recap of the sales process, the different types of customer needs, Abraham Maslow's motivation theory of hierarchy of needs, and mapping customer needs with brain dominance model, among others. Let's give a warm welcome to Mushtaq Ahmed.
Hello everyone. Thank you very much indeed for joining in today's one of the series of webinars that we are conducting in the world of optics to make the life of people around us see better and look better. So in today's event, in today's webinar, we are going to discuss something which we had promised to help you to identify your customers' need through relationship building. So if you notice something at the bottom of this slide, you will see the Vasta Method. The Vasta is a very common word used throughout Gulf. And I was wondering, what is the magic behind this word which make things happen? So we will try to go in detail and rip that word apart and try to explore the magic that is hidden inside. But to just have a recap of what we had gone through in the past in terms of the definition of selling, which is very unique, which we have discussed together and come out with those important words that can change people's lives. And the definition of selling is, each and every word I said it's important, the process of building a relationship by identifying the needs of your customers and motivating them to buy. This is a very unique definition of selling, because you will never find building relationship coming on top of other things in selling in anywhere else in the world in terms of definition. Yes, they talk about identifying the needs of a customer, and yes, they talk about the process of selling, but nobody thought about building relationship to be prioritized in selling. The reason why we brought this definition is, in today's world, the customer is telling you time and again that I don't need you. And the reason is something has fallen apart. That's how relationships fall apart. If your husband, is your son, is your client, if your boss, if your employee says to you that I don't need you, means they are going to walk out of your life, walk out of your organization, walk out of your school, because they are demonstrating physically to you that the relationship has fallen apart. That is the reason I say the process is to build a relationship. In today's world, that is very ambivalent. Everywhere it's omnipresent to every one of us. People are just going online to purchase the product because They are telling you, we don't need you. If it is available to me at the touch of my button, and that can be delivered to your household, and at a cheaper price, everything remains same. And then why do they have to come to you? Unless and until they feel something very strong inside them, an urge that no, I have to go and see that person, because that person, that salesperson, that compatriot, that consultant is of value to me. If that hasn't happened, then it's just touching few buttons and buying the product. That is the reason I am emphasizing to all of you about building relationships. So this is where the underlining of the definition comes in, where the process of building relationship is important in order for you to identify the needs of your customer and motivate them to buy. Then we talk about what's the process. Process is very simple. Wherever you go, a series of steps implemented to achieve the desired goals. Big companies, established companies, brands who are successful have a process in place. Wherever you go in the world, you touch the button or in a Starbucks vendor, you get the same coffee. You go to an outlet in Starbucks or anywhere else in a Burger King or McDonald's, the process remains the same. So that's why you get the same share of taste wherever you go. Probably there might be some difference, because there might be a difference in the process. That is why things go wrong. If I went to one of the outlets in Dubai, in Mirdif City Center, in KFC, the chicken there tasted better because they might have followed the process better. But eventually, most of the process remains the same. That is how brands establish themselves. The third thing, we talked about our own model. In our own model, we talked about the sales process. In this sales process, we gave a very simple format where we said it is iPod model. That is, to identify the needs, to present the solutions, to find the objections and handle them properly, and then efficiently close the deal. This is the sales process all through this series that we will be discussing, and everything that we will be adding into this series of webinars, it will be based on this process of iPod model. Then we also in the last week talked about the types of customers, the wise people who always felt that they knew more than you. They came to the shop, they had adequate knowledge about the products, they had adequate knowledge about their problem, they had adequate knowledge about what they need for them. So they were the wise people who you were encountering, you were facing them. So they were your customers of them. And there were some showroomers who just came and clicked and went on to the internet to check the price. There were some window shoppers because they didn't have had enough of time, so therefore they went around and they came to your shop. They didn't really wanted to buy anything, so they just shopping around, window shop. Then there is a missionary we talked about who came for a purpose. He asked for a particular product, and then he didn't discuss about the price. He just paid, got the bill, and he left because he was so focused. So these were the customers which we had talked in the past webinar, which you might go and look into the video, and you can get adequately enhance your knowledge about what we had done in the past. And there we talked about also the types of customer loyalty. Some customers are very loyal to the products. Some customers are loyal to the services. Some customers are loyal to the brand. Some are price and some proximity. But the fundamental part of it is, if they are loyal to your relationship, a lot of things can happen in the industry, especially under the present trying times. Now today, we are going to discuss identifying customer needs through relationship building. Right at the bottom, you can see all relationships have only one law. That is, never make the one whom you're dealing with feel alone. That's how relationship always gets maintained. So what is the Vasta model? And I was just thinking, like, what should I talk about it? when I go around and I hear this word and it's magic. If you want to have your son admitted in the school, you use Vasta. If you want to have a driving license fast, you use Vasta. If you want to, book an airline ticket which is full, somebody, and if you use Vasta, you get your airline ticket fast. So what is this magic word about Vasta? And suddenly I thought, all right, somewhere down the line, I heard about this Quranic verse. Ya ayyuhan nas, inna إن خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. I said I was surprised to hear this word. God has created tribes and nations so that you may know each other. Wow, what a magic it is. And that is why people are using this Vasta. They are knowing each other. And they really spend most of their time knowing each other. They go to divanyas, they go to majlis, they go to visit their houses. And that's how they develop Vasta. Vasta means what? It's all about knowing the people, like, the hands and fingers are joined together. So when that happens, things can happen like magic. I had a problem with one of the ministries to get the visas. My boss went to the ministry and he knew his friend and they talked for 1 hour. And the real issue was not even talked. And then at the end of, before leaving, he said, what's the problem? You have come here. He said, I just need, this file has been pending for some time. Can you please help? And that was done in 5 minutes. This is how Vasta makes it different. So what is this Vasta? So this is what made me think. And then I said, all right, let me try to detail more about Vasta, which we can help in our own retail, our own self. And the first thing that came to my mind is the well-being of your customers and the well-being of your own self. But when we talk about customers, three things are very important, and 90% is the first thing, and that is health, especially in the world of optics. When you are in a part of the optical shop or an industry, when people come to you, they come with a problem with their vision that is related to health. So that is related to their well-being. And that well-being means you got to cater them. Health is more important than anything else. If health has been communicated in a better way, then definitely everything falls in place. Price is the least when health is taking priority. This has been researched, and people have come out with their studies, and every one of us knows that if I have a heartache and I'm going to the doctor, I just don't care about money. So likewise, if somebody has a problem with their vision, no matter what you do, at the end of the day, you say, this will cost you a fortune, but he will say, give me my vision back. This is how it is important. So number one is health. Number two is prosperity. And number three is happiness. These are the three ingredients of well-being. So if you as a person who's standing at the shop front and trying to understand the well-being of your customer by knowing them better, by understanding their problem and matching the solutions that you are going to happen so that their well-being gets better, their health gets better, no wonder he's going to come close to you and know you better. So this is the ingredient of well-being. The second thing which I came to my mind is about the affinity. Affinity is about the closeness that we develop. The closeness can happen when we acknowledge somebody, when we appreciate the way they are, when then we pay attentiveness to what their problem is. Because this is where people miss the details. They are too quick to come to a solution. And probably in that direction, they might miss the main thing. And also the alternatives. If you are having a particular brand and that particular model is not available, it is, is there an alternative that you can offer to them at that particular time? Or you can make that available, at some point in time, but there is something that you can offer. So these things, you got to try and ask more questions and get the information from your patient, your customers, who can give you adequate knowledge whether they like your solutions or not. So your attentiveness comes in by digging more and more. And how to dig is in the next session. We will go through the questionings. So this, your closeness is more important to make your customer feel that they are comfortable with you. Your closeness is making them feel that I can refer somebody to you. Your closeness is going to bring more business to you. And not only that, at the end of the day, using these tools of Vasta is all that we need at the end to get more business, not just more business to us, but also to give an appropriate solution to our customers. The third thing which comes to my mind is this supportiveness. Supportive means you are not alone. You got to be backed up by your team. You got to be backed up by your company, your systems, your managers, your teammates. Because what happens is, in most cases, we offer ourselves ultimately to our customers, but the system doesn't support. If the customer is asking for one particular model with silver color, and you are going to the system and trying to check, if that system is slow, that is not going to be helpful. If the system is fast, but that shop, the product is available in another shop, and you are not able to retrieve it to that particular, to your shop, and tell the customer to go to that shop to collect it, it's not going to be helpful. And if it is available in your store and the staff in the store says, I'm too busy, I cannot give you, it's not going to be helpful. Supportiveness means that it has to be encompassing. It has to be all inclusive. Your immediate manager, your teammates, your warehouse staff, and most importantly, your boss. Because at one point in time, it might also happen that there might be a price negotiation for a higher value item. So supportiveness means your patient, your customer relies on you and feels that there is no better person than you to help him to solve his problem. And the fourth important thing which came to my mind is the thoroughness. When I have been in Gulf, people come to the shops just for the sake of shopping. I mean, people come to in Gulf when you are working in a shop. They just come for the sake of work. No, if your knowledge is not getting enhanced on a daily basis, if you do not know what kind of a portfolio that you carry in your shop, which are the models, which are the colors, which are the temple sizes, which are the different brands that you have in your warehouse that you can buy from your suppliers, that information, that knowledge about, if you are, I just said, like, I'm a specialist in contact lenses. So wherever I go, I ask the salespeople, give me 3 benefits of, one day Acuvue Moist or Total dailies. People were struggling to give. Some of them don't even know the difference between hydrogels and silicone hydrogels. They start to blabber. So if you are in a shop and you are working for 5 years and you don't know to differentiate between a hydrogel and a silicone hydrogel, and you are still expecting you to grow your business, I'm sorry, you are not thorough in what you are doing. And most importantly, your approachability. This is, makes your patient, your customer feel relaxed, that you are approachable at any point in time. They have to just pick up the phone and tell you the problem, or they have to just refer somebody to you to sort out the issues that you have, sort out the issues they have. So this is, the approachability is make them feeling very, very comfortable, so that they can come to you again and again. They can reach you at any point in time, or through email, or through faxes, or through telephones, or through mobiles, without much bothering you. So this is the overall Vasta model that I have developed. What is it going to help? This is going to give you some basics, the basics of how, keep this in mind, and just go on to the internet and say, what else can I do to increase the well-being of the patient? What else can I do to make myself closer to the patient? What else I can do in my shop, in my business, in my company, where I can be more supportive? Where are the rough edges? Where are the loopholes? Where are the gaps which I can narrow? And thoroughness. Thoroughness is about the product knowledge, about the skills that you have to develop, about the ambience of the shop, about making things at keeping things at the right place. So these are all things that are important. And of course, approachability. So the basic model which I would like to suggest, where you can go online and gather adequate knowledge on a daily basis and try to enhance yourself, where at the end of the day, if your Vasta model is not going to help you, then definitely your business is not going to grow. Your Vasta, your closeness, your affinity has to develop, so that the customer who is clicking it on the internet should understand that it is important for them to come to you and maintain that relationship as well. So this is how we will bring the customers back to our fold, to our shop, to our business. Okay. So we also talked about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This I will talk more in depth, but what happens in Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs is, way long in 1908, a social scientist by name Abraham Maslow, he developed this pyramid. And he said, these are the fundamentals, 5 basic needs of humans. And it starts with the basic, which is the physiological needs, which is the breathing, water, and sleep, and excretion, etc. So, and then health is also a part of the physiological need. So if I need something, I need it, that's going to be my solution. So that is the difference between a need and a want. Somebody disagreed, somebody agreed. So the difference between a need and a want is, if it's a need, I just need it. This is going to solve my problem. If it's a want, I can live without it. That's it. Okay. But yes, if somebody can't see and comes to you, and you are going to do an eye test and give him a prescription, give him glasses, and he sees better, his need has been addressed. You have given a solution. But he doesn't need an anti-reflection unless you try to dig more. You try to ask more. What do you do in the evening? Do you drive a bike? Do you drive a car? Is there a glaring? So how are you going, to address this problem? And the customer comes back to you and tells them, yes, I feel a lot of glare and I don't feel very comfortable. Is there any solution for this? So now the want becomes a need for him, because you have already highlighted, okay, this is the problem that you are facing. In order to solve this problem, in order to enhance your comfort, enhance to make your life better, I am going to give you the latest blue coating, anti-reflection coating lenses, which can be making you an amazing person, and plus, whatever you want to say. So a need and a want are 2 different things, but a want can become a need if you are going to try and highlight those things. So likewise, Abraham Maslow also talked about the safety aspect of it, and he also talked about love and belonging. He also talked about esteem, and he also talked about self-actualization. In our future sessions, we will be trying to address which kind of a customers can fall in which area of the pyramid. Some people might be having a need, some people might be having a want. So we will address them, and accordingly, through the Herman's brain dominance model, where on one side there are people who are experimental, on other side they are relationship on the right side, on the left side there are people who are very analytical, and at the bottom of it they are very practical and safekeeping. So if you go into this pyramid, which I had talked earlier, and I'm going to go again, the experimental part, the right side, is on the upper quadrant. You will see it as experiment. This means this person is very curious, very creative. He wants to make new things. He expects new things to happen. He wants something amazing to be, and he will also give you suggestions. He is impulsive and takes risk of buying that product. And then he will also try to convey what he has found out to his friends and relatives. This is an experimental chap. And at the bottom of it, as you can see, a relation person is always talkative, always friendly, always emotional, always expressive, and he is very supportive of the decisions you take. He wants to hug you, he wants to shake your hands. He is very, very friendly person, and he not most of the time he will come with 3 people or 4 people together as friends. So all those things, these are the personality traits of people. We will match our needs according to the brain dominance of a person. Likewise, on the left, you have an analytical person who knows things how they work, who knows about calculating money, asking for more discount. He loves numbers. Without a calculator, he can just calculate, and he will be very critical of things. He will be looking for your promises to be kept in time. Otherwise, he'll be very angry. Your relationship will fall apart if you don't give him things in time. And he always talks logic. He gives you analysis. He gives you, this strength. The length of the frame could be much smaller for his eye. So he's very calculative in nature. But the left bottom of the left side is a person who is very safe, very calm, very in the corner, plans, keeps things very neat, organizes himself, always follows others, takes more feedback from the friends. So likewise, he has more, you know, he needs more safety in order to make a decision for himself. So this is how the brain dominance works. So A, we have our own needs, which is the Abrahamic model. And on the other side, we have our own brain dominance. So in future sessions, when we are going to talk about the needs of a person, what we need to do, we have to ask them by questioning. And those questioning skills will be matched using these parameters to help us develop relationship of our customers.